What's going on, vinyl community? I kind of tend to make videos on this night. It's my last night of work before my days off, and seems to always be a good day to make a video, so that's what I'm going to do. What's been going on this last week? It's been really nice weather. Monday we had a pretty big hailstorm, but tomorrow's opening day, baseball. Don't know if anybody else is excited about that, but I am. Yeah, guess doing a lot of yard work, you know, springtime. Got some new sod in the yard, so doing that. But anyways, I don't want to bore you guys too much. So last week, these are all records I got last week, actually, just Friday, I think. So we kind of gave up going to estate sales that day because Half Price Books, the flagship store, which is in Dallas, is massive. Filled with books, CDs, anything. You know, most of you have been to one, or a lot of you anyway. But they had a tent sale, so we went down there. Didn't know what to expect. Usually when they have their sales, everything's 50 cents for a record, but today it was $1. So they just have a ton of records. People have been going to them for years, so I think old people just kind of know. Take your things to Half Price Books, they'll give us money, and so they have boxes of stuff that I don't even think they know. So some of that's from here, but I'm going to show eBay stuff first. Some stuff I got good deals on. One of them, you know, I never used the term Grail, but if I had to use the term, it'd probably be it. So first up, this is not the Grail, but this is Kinks, You Really Got Me. Been wanting this one for a while, but you know, pricing and such. Big Kinks fan. I'm trying to, you know, I have kind of Kinks, so now I have this, but I've been really trying to. You can always find their later catalog stuff, you know, like Sleepwalker and such. But yeah, really nice. You guys, most of you guys already know this album. Obviously, it's got You Really Got Me. Let's see, Just Can't Go to Sleep. Got Love If You Want It. Great album. Got a killer deal on it. And I think what happened was I was looking for jazz, and you know, like I mentioned before on eBay, you know, to lower your shipping costs, instead of paying $4 for one record, you pay $2 a piece. So I also got this Miles Davis jazz track, 6i. So this was a nice Miles to add. You know, I hadn't really heard this album too much, so it was kind of nice to pick it up. I can't remember if this is a comp. I thought somewhere I read that this was a comp. Anyways, I haven't even given this a listen yet, so excited to listen to that. This one, I had trouble, I couldn't even find any information about this, but this is well, this is the Jazz Messengers, obviously, Art Blakey, but look at that, promo, 6i. I'm still trying to, kind of having problems finding information about it, but this album is, wow. Hank Mobley, Art Blakey, Donald Byrd, Horace Silver, and Doug Watkins. I mean, heavy hitters on this one, guys, and it delivers. It's, you know, typical hard bop like you would expect, and it's just fantastic. Really, really good. I'm gonna work on this a little bit, but I mean, I wasn't even looking for that record, but I just kind of stumbled across it on eBay, you know. This one, I think I got this from a seller who I previously gotten a record from before. He kind of posted this again, or he asked me. He kind of found this one, and I did not have it. This is a original, the West 50th Prestige. Miles Davis and Milt Jackson, Quintet Sextet. Another beautiful album from Miles. He really did no wrong on his Prestige days, as far as I'm concerned. And just really nice to get. It's probably like a VG copy, but I gotta say, that ultrasonic cleaner that I did in my last video, all these records were clean with it. all the static that I had gone. Any kind of pops and ticks, I mean, that I had before. You know, I really need to go back and do some albums that and do like a before and after. But all these albums, I mean, they sound terrific. I mean, when I was just using the spin clean, I was getting, you know, still getting some static and stuff like that, but done. No more static on any of them. None. Here's the Grail. John Coltrane. Blue Train. Not an original stereo. This is a second press stereo. Which I'm fine with because the original stereos and original monos obviously go for crazy money, but this one was in terrific shape. You can see the cover. I mean, it's just beautiful. It's probably one of the most expensive records I've actually paid. You know, not the most expensive record I have, but probably one of the ones I've paid the most for. But in comparison of what they normally go for, I didn't, you know, I got a steal on it. So very happy. I'm not going to go into detail on this. Most of you already know this album, but I had been holding off. I almost bought a, you know, reissue Analog Productions, but I held off. So I'm glad I did. Really nice to add this to the collection. All right. Next, Cannonball Adderley Quintet in Chicago. Now, just like Cannonball Adderley's other famous album, Something Else, this album right here features none other than John Coltrane. So, it's original on Mercury, but this album is just killer. Really wasn't expecting it, I guess. I didn't really listen to it online before I got it. Once again, I'm just stumbling through eBay and kind of stumbled across this for a crazy deal. Amazing shape, and I'm glad I got it because this is, if I had to do like a top 20, I need to do a top 20 jazz albums that I own personally, not like of all time, but just that I own. I think this would probably crack the top 20. It's that good. So if you guys ever stumble across this or see a repress, highly recommend it. Very good album. All right. So next I went to the half price book sale. We're actually listening to one of the albums I got there. So everything was $1. It's crazy as always, you know, digging through a lot of garbage stuff as usual. But this Jerry Mulligan and Annie Ross. But what I zoomed in on, remember what I said before? Chet Baker, Art Farmer. A lot of his stuff, you know, he performed with so many other people that, you know, his name was just out there, and you'll find his stuff with Jerry Mulligan quite a bit. Now this is a repress on Kimberly Records. The original was on World Pacific, but still terrific. You can kind of hear it. She's a British jazz singer, and she kind of got her start. I think I was reading a little bit about her. A guy from Prestige, the Weinstock, Harry Weinstock, something like that. Kind of gave her a chance writing lyrics to a song, and that kind of propelled her. And so, beautiful album. Not always in the mood for jazz singers, but I have to say, it's pretty good. Alright. Next, I've been looking at this album, and it's not terribly expensive online. I just, you know, wasn't really felt like paying up, but this is the Mariachi Brass featuring Chet Baker. And I'm glad I didn't pay up for it because I'm really not a huge fan of it. The World Pacific label. Cool cover though. Dig the cover except the chick smoking. But, it's, you know, like you would expect, mariachi-ish, you know, but it kind of falls short for me. Maybe I just got to give it another listen, but I don't know. I don't have much to say about that. Next one, I couldn't believe when I saw this one, and I've been wanting this for a while, but I never run across it, and I always forget to look for it, you know, when I'm hunting online, but it's Buddy Miles. It says Them Changes. super funky rock, bluesy. Man, it's a killer album. I mean, I had heard, you know, a couple songs from it before, but never the whole thing. And man, what a killer album. I'm very happy to pick that up. This was $1. You never know. Same with this one. You know, I've heard of the name once. I think I've heard it mentioned, but that's not what crossed my mind when I saw this. Just the cover, and I was like, I'm taking it. This is George Semper, Making Waves, on the Imperial label. I mean, look at the names of the tracks. Couple that with how he's kind of dressed right there, I'm like, this is going to be a killer record, and it is. It reminds me of, you know, it's all instrumental, so it's like kind of like Booker T, you know what I mean, but in the soul. I don't know. I guess, I mean, Booker T would be a good, but I think he's from like San Diego or something like that. I thought that's what I read. He's from San Diego, but pick it up. Crazy good album. Glad I got it. All right, next, the Dynamite Jack McDuff and the Benny Golson Trio, or with the quartet of Benny Golson. I'm sorry. Prestige. Just sitting in the dollar bin. Now, this isn't a crazy expensive album, but it is a nice one. Very enjoyable. I love Jack McDuff. He kind of gets into, like, he's kind of known for his, like, funky stuff, like late 60s, early 70s, but this is, I think, mid 60s, early 60s, 64 maybe? Something like that, like 64. But beautiful album. Couldn't leave it there for $1. Next one, Horace Silver, Pursuit of the 27th Man. Also on Blue Note. This is in like perfect shape, and it was $1. Now, this isn't a crazy album to, you know, that command the normal Blue Note prices online, but it's still, I mean, enough to where I hadn't bought it yet, you know, just waiting to find one. So that's what I did, and I'm glad I did. This is got a little bit of a Latin vibe to it, kind of like the other one, the Chet Baker and the Mariachi Brass, but this one, for some reason, just sounds a lot better. It's just beautiful, beautiful album. Really enjoyed it. Next we got Curtis Mayfield, Superfly, for $1. So I open it up and I think it's going to be in terrible shape. Nope. Perfect shape. It's the cutout here that folds open. You guys all know this album pretty much. I've seen it shown tons in the VC, so I'm not going to go into super detail, but I never had a copy. I actually passed on one at an estate sale last year. The guy was kind of a douche, and you know, he didn't have records price. He just kind of like said, "Well, bring your records up and I'll shoot your price." And he was like $7 a piece, and I'm like, I was getting all kind of frustrated with him. I'm like, well, what if I put this one back? And he like actually raised the price. I'm like, you know what? I'm out of here. Like, kiss my ass, you know. So kind of regretted that ever since, because I really wanted this album, but I put it back, and record gods smiled upon me, and now I have it. Let me flip that record real quick. Alright, thanks for putting up with that. Also, couldn't believe $1. Half price books. That'll be great. I have this album, but I don't have a cover. So now I have both, and this is even better shape than the record I have, just the record. So this is their first one, self-titled. And this is the censored cover, but it is a 2-eye press, so this is the second press. And you guys all know Moby Grape, just great garagey rock. Sounds fantastic. I've always liked Moby Grape. Next, this album. Whew. I was not on enough stuff to listen to this album, let me tell you. I put this on and I'm like, I mean, I started tripping out and I wasn't even tripping. This is the Zodiac Cosmic Sounds. The music is great, very psychedelic, obviously, and but then they don't really sing. They almost like they almost chant. Like, I guess, you know, like I Love Supreme, John Coltrane, obviously, you know, they're just kind of chanting, I love, you know, it's almost like that, but then they start talking. It's a trip. I enjoyed it, but I mean, I feel like I could have enjoyed it a lot more if I was just really on something. I don't know. My 2 cents. A sucker for the Supremes. This is Supremes sing Sam Cooke. I'm a sucker for both of them. You put them together and you got a great album. Nothing Can Change This Love, Chain Gang, Bring It On Home to Me, Shake, A Change Is Gonna Come. They sing a lot of his hits. It sounds great because it's the Supremes. Get it. What are you gonna do? Alright, next. Oh, I can't remember who showed this a long time ago. I've been looking for one. I never find a good copy for some reason, but Lee Michaels. Finally got one. $1. Which is pretty much what it's worth. It's maybe $1 more, you can, you know, but I didn't want to buy it online because it's not worth a ton. By the time you ship it, kind of overpaid. I think maybe Zeke showed that. I can't remember. But also got a cactus. A little bit of damage there in the corner, but other than that, the record's great. It's One Way or Another. Not sure what number album it is for them, but it sounds great. Just nice. I don't know what happened there, but it got cut off. I did that the other day too. Anyone's iPhone do that? Anyways, only got a couple more. Michel Legrand, I Love Paris. I'm trying to pick up more of his stuff. I've always had his Legrand Paris album that he did with Miles Davis, but I've been trying to pick up a little bit more just as I see him. This is another Jack McDuff. Now this one is getting a little bit more into the funk. This is Getting Our Thing Together on Cadet. Remember I said he's kind of known more for his funk. This is a great album. More Nina. This is I think it's a comp on Cool Picks. Probably released, you know, after she had switched to where'd she go? RCA? I can't remember where she went. I think she went RCA, right? But probably after she switched there, and they're trying to capitalize on it because it has Memphis in June, Cotton Eye Joe, Forbidden Fruit. You Can Have Him, Just Say I Love Him. So I'm pretty sure this is just a comp, but in any case, it's Nina, right? The streak continues into 2019. Actually, I got another one today. Okay, a couple more. The Birds, Untitled. Not terribly, you know, hard to find. I never found a decent copy for some reason. I think one of the albums is just a concert. Yeah, side 1 and 2 are a concert. I can't remember where it's recorded. They said it too. And then side 3 and 4 are the actual album portion of it. More good stuff from the Birds. Not my favorite from them, but they made so many good albums that it's kind of easy to overlook some of them, I think. And last but not least, the Patsy Cline story on Decca. Double album, pretty cool. I have her, you know, the green greatest hits one, the famous green one with the label, but I'd never seen this one. And I don't know, I dig Patsy Cline, so I thought I would pick it up. San Antonio Rose, Heartaches, Walking After Midnight is on here, of course. South of the Border, you know, Patsy Cline, man. Dig it. So that is my update for the week. Hope you guys are all doing good. Been enjoying everybody's videos. Yeah, that's it. Been trying to comment on everybody's videos. Kind of like what Chris over at Dixieland Farms kind of talked about. You know, you got to comment on people's videos to, you know, develop the friendships. And I feel like, you know, I got the core group of people now that, kind of reply, you know, to my videos, and I enjoy conversing with them, just kind of showing what I got for the week. I really enjoy seeing what they got for the week, and yeah, it's been fun. Making a lot of friendships. Anyways, rambling on at this point. Hope you all have a good week. And I don't know, thinking about doing some kind of contest. I just passed 250, so it's possible. I still got to do a room tour in here. Got a lot of videos to make, not enough time. Anyways, take care.